Going live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Hey, listen, sorry about the spotty signal. We went with the phone, just trying something out. It actually worked. But the signal's spotty because it was Wi-Fi and with the laptop and webcam, everything is Ethernet hardwired. So those of you who popped in, one of you is here now. We're back. Something. Victor Sham. How do you say your last name? You're not going to be able to tell me. Shamulus. Vic's been around for a while. He pops up. He's a great supporter. I appreciate you. Once again, not now, YouTube. Thank you. We're here hanging out. You know, we got the opportunity. I've been doing this. Can you hear me okay, Vic? Shamulus. Isn't the live cool, dude?
Yeah.
Because there he is. I mean, it's right there.
Wow.
Isn't that the
The
funnest?
sad thing is, the print is too small, and
You can't see it?
I can't see close up. So
Ah,
I can't see.
bummer.
All I see is like icons.
Stuff happening.
Yeah, we'll have to move this across the room, and I'll be able to see it.
You get some knocks.
Like reading glasses or something. No, man. That means I got old.
You got old. What's crazy is a lot of us get to where we can't see, but we still fly anyway. So you know what? They tell us when you study YouTube that when you go live, there should be like an agenda. We absolutely 100% do not have one. We've got, this is Saturday Night Live with the RC Pilots Lounge. Mike isn't able to be here on Thursdays when we go live at 9 Eastern. So I got him here. He's dressed to the nines in his garb. He just got done with a concert, rocked it all day long playing bagpipes in Michigan City, right?
Yeah, man,
I mean, this guy, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to my Chargers getting ready for tomorrow. What are you going to fly tomorrow, Victor Shamulus? By the way, the two of you in here, hit that thumbs up button. I can see what you're not doing. We need all the help we can over here. We let this channel just sit for 5 years while we worked on the other one.
Right. So
Hard.
This one up. And you know what? This makes this channel a little bit better. We're going to go back to the old roots of RCA Training Command. And this is going to be the support for all the pilots, more so than it was for motion. I think that this is going to be, no agenda here. This is strictly for you guys.
We're back to it. It's cool. The thing is, we have this major passion and energy. But I've said it before. If any of you guys are paying attention, they've grown so big that we just simply, they got to hire in-house for this. And so for many years, we held the keys and kept the lights on in the area of social media and video and managing YouTube channels and things like that. But, we don't have to do that anymore. So guess what? We love doing it. The engaging with you is as much fun as the flying is, really. So especially, you guys know how it is. You can't always fly, so you have to obsess over it. Jets, and jets. Says Vic. You know what? We're getting ready to work up the e-flite P-47 of all things. I'm super excited about it. We should have got it a long time ago, but we didn't. So we're doing that. And if any of you guys are paying attention to the Hobby Squawk forums, you'll know that there's stuff around the corner. It's just how close is that corner? Nobody knows. But, of course, stay tuned to the official outlets to be the first to know. Also having a lot of fun on our end, too. I mean, you guys if you follow me on Instagram at all, you'll know that we're having a blast. A lot of times they're night flights, after the work is done. We'll get out there and just fly some favorites, which is very much like the RCA Training Command days. Because unless we were working up a magazine model, we were flying stuff that we already had tons of flights on. And can really actually be more of an authority, I feel like, on the product rather than flying it twice, 3 times and the camera's rolling. So all two of you, thanks for hanging out. So anybody there? Knock, knock. So actually, really, I got Mike over here tonight because Tired Iron Aviation has a fan all over the world, but one in particular, Chris with a Y, I think it is. He's from France, and isn't there a rhyme about a dude in a hole in the fence? I don't know. Anyway. So anyway, so George, he wanted a shirt, and
he's a little guy, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris with a Y, and you can see it's been signed already a little bit. If you saw the podcast at the Tired Iron Aviation Group, the podcast number 3 with Chloe and April from RC Safari, we showed this a little bit. But it's been signed by some of the guys at Tired Iron Aviation, like RC Jet Dude, Running Bear, Steve Black, George himself. And Chris wanted me and Mike to sign it as well. So we're going to do that probably right after this live. And then we'll video record that and send it off to George so he can put it up how he sees fit. Let's play RC. Chat is working now. Hey, fellas. Yeah, that phone wasn't doing it. If this is anything like the phone was, please let me know, because we'll just end it, because that was awful. We watched the playback and it was not popping fresh from the kitchen. Mama rolling that body. Hey, the flight deck. Hey, guys. Good to see you as well. Does anybody have any questions for us? We got 5 in here. Nobody's thumbed up it yet. Is that not an option when you're watching it live? I'm going to beat you over the head till I see one. I just want to see one happen.
We haven't earned it yet.
There's 2, thank goodness.
Wow,
I
work.
did. All right,
Okay,
all right.
That works.
The thing about the flight deck, hey, Jeremy would be great for a podcast interview. Especially if I knew who Jeremy was. Hey, flight deck. Hey, awesome. The questions are really coming. Jeremy Solt, you're right. Yes. That's a good idea. I tell you what, thank you. I'm going to make some notes, dude, while we're doing this. Once a week, we're doing this podcast show, like out of nowhere, just to spread our wings and do more things and connect with you guys in a more consistent manner. It doesn't matter what the weather's doing or what our schedules are doing. We can always do this podcast. And I think the very best part of the podcast, whatever you call it, live stream podcast, to me, it's a podcast because that's where I'm going with it ultimately. And we want to stay where you can watch it in video and just listen if you don't have an hour to sit. Some of us do have that kind of time. So I know you guys know us from video, so you probably appreciate having the choice. But the best part I think about the show is having people, everybody on the show. It's not just me and Mike talking. We've done that long enough. Like I kind of want to share a little more. So Jeremy Solt. So Mike can't read. So let's play RC. What's happening? The question is, Captain Mike, what do you guys suggest for a first RC plane? My first thing that goes to my mind is asking him what kind of field does he fly at and those kinds of things. Mike, go, baby.
Well, the first thing, you know what?
Champ.
I already got this down. I think I'd go with micros because you got everything in the car, everything's in the box. You don't have to go to an AMA field. You can be at a parking lot, open field. You can be anywhere. You don't have to jump in front of guys who are at a field and then start flying and getting in their way or anything like that. Not only that, you'll get the peanut gallery where you'll have everybody who can't fly try to help you out. And you already are trying to figure it out. And you're going to have kind of advice coming out of the woodwork. I mean, this is ugly. Kind of
like forums sometimes.
So, well, I would say go ahead and get your micro because it comes with charger, comes with battery. And the one to get Ooh. The one to get is the Timber would be perfect.
Speaking of Timber Brothers are going to be on the show one of these days
cool.
too. Yeah.
I like those guys.
They're awesome.
And I would get the Micro Timber. Another good one is that e-flite Cessna.
You love the Cessna, little trike.
Gosh. And what I did with
whoa,
the
where'd the
Cessna,
comments go? There we go.
What
Holy smokes.
What I did with the Cessna is
thumbs up it.
I went ahead and got the Timber Light kit. It's $27 Motion RC, or you can get it over at e-flite anywhere.
Let's Play RC said, get along with it. Just answer the question, damn it. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. He says, I have tons of space, live in a very dual area. I assume he means rural. Also, so he's still micro. Go with I think that's still the call.
Go with micro. And you can get in some pretty good wins with those things. With the safe.
You can with the AS3X, it's fantastic.
I would start there because when you go stupid, and you will get stupid moments, just kind of, you know, I
closer to the mic, he says.
Oh, I always watch everybody.
Let me turn the gain up.
Do the fly away. You're cruising nice and straight, and the next thing you know, you're in the next county.
How about that, Victor?
Everybody does that. So with a micro, when it starts getting small, it's only what 50 yards away, and you can go find it. Yeah, I'm going with micro, and then after that, you can really start progressing from there.
Stay in there close. I got a voice that carries like a crazy. You're out of your mind. That's creepy. That's how that is.
Sorry.
How about? Can you hear me now, Victor? Buddy Box at 2. Yes. Tons of space to live. Ricky the Photon Dexter. I know you from Instagram, man. You're who are you over there? I forget, but I see you all the time, and I really appreciate you. He asks, Mike, were you in the Air Force? Can you answer that question for us?
Yeah. I started out. Actually, I was piping.
Bagpipes, eh?
Yeah, bagpipes, and they needed.
You got to speak up.
Oh, that's all right. They needed some pipers for the RAF civilian band, and so I said sure. And then I started piping, and then that led to getting on base. And then after base, it was like, how do I get in that tornado? And then after that, that was history. I mean, it was right in it. So I got to fly in a tornado for a while. And yeah. So after that, they said either sign up full time or get out. And I said, well, I'm going to have to leave.
So while we've got, and jump back in on that story, but Let's Play RC says, cool, thanks for the advice. I will look at the micro. Also, what I would say to look at is right here on this YouTube channel. There's a wealth of information, even though some of it's from the way back. Go to the playlist for flight lessons and watch us rock the micro and a bunch of different like lessons. I think maybe the first video is us just talking about what we're going to do in the series. I mean, skip or whatever, but once we get to flying, there's really some good stuff to learn in those lessons still.
And you don't just throw your airplane in the air and react. You actually gonna have to have, you know, a plan.
David May, what up?
And so the
I love the live. Yeah. I love the live.
And the big thing about flying for your first time, just get the left-hand turn down. That's it. It's real simple, but it's not. You want straight and level left-hand turn. I'm
going to do a shout out to my boy on Instagram who I was just talking about. Because, dude, he's there all the time. Oh, man, you can't see it.
Oh.
Photon Torpedo. He's got different names, different places. That's how it works. Photon Torpedo. Thanks, Ricky the Photon Dexter. Yeah, on YouTube. Thanks, man. I recognize your avatar.
I wish I could like see that screen.
I'm sorry you can't. There's no way for me to make it bigger.
We got to plug this into a big screen TV, like a 80-inch.
Mike's got one of those phones at his house with the big numbers for your grandpa.
Yeah.
So, David May, great to see you as well. Ricky the Photon Dexter, again, man. Appreciate you. guys, we're having a blast. And I know some of you know us from videos from way back, and some of you only know us as, you know, the Motion RC guys. But this channel right here was around before, and we just really let it sit while we worked so hard for Motion, which we still do some jobs for. And there's a lot of new stuff coming, which is going to be, you guys are going to go nuts. So obviously still look to those outlets for, you know, official information and releases. You're going to get it there first, but, you know, we're going to be here doing our thing as well. And we just are glad to have you over here. Like I said, some of you don't know this old channel, so it's cool to see you and have you subscribe and blow it up. But it is more frequent for us to post on like Instagram than like almost every day on Instagram, as Photon Torpedo can attest, than YouTube. It's a little harder to make, you know, get out and make videos. I missed, where's my comments at? Okay.
Oh, that's weird how it just
I know, right?
That.
So yeah, any of you guys make my day, man. Thanks. Waiting for the new stuff, man. I can't wait. There's a lot of good coming from Motion RC soon. That is absolutely right. I want to call you whatever. What's that guy's name? It's like the name for the devil. Yeah, something. Mephiles 2009. You're more of a Facebook guy. It's not your fault. I'm just kidding, Victor. You got to go everywhere these days. It's 2018. But hey, listen, that we are the guys who have to go everywhere more than you do. Right? So you pick your favorite place to consume this stuff and go there. And if any of you follow the Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike RC Facebook page or Pilot Ryan on Instagram, you'll know that like we're usually promoting everything. So nothing's going to slide by. So yeah, follow on Instagram. If you do Twitter, I'm there. If you, I mean, obviously you're here on YouTube, man, subscribe and hit that like button. I see it right there. Hit that thumbs up deal for me. Yeah. Change your YouTube channel name. It's easier to say sometimes. Mephiles. Thank you. Mephiles. Mephiles. How long did the doctor say is going to be? I'm just kidding. I really need to change from the heart of a. Hey guys. Hey, what's up? Truth still matters. I want to make it down on the Grapevine this year.
Oh, awesome.
You should. You should.
Fun place. Man, those guys are great.
You guys are the social media A team. Appreciate that. Let's play RC. Done. Cool, man. Hippie 60. Brian. What's up? He just texted me, actually. Yeah. He's like, he's mad I went live without telling him. Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna.
Hey, Hippie, letting you know that I did get your text the other day, and I know what the problems were.
All right, so you guys sort that out later.
I'm going to give you a call tomorrow sometime. So, yes.
Hey, I'm sure. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. That helps. You know, that's the thing, man, about social media, guys. It's a two-way street. So it's super nice to the vanity metrics of it all are, it's not the most important thing, but it is what drives the algorithm behind everything that keeps you where you should be. I mean, if you're working hard at this stuff, you ought to be showing up at the top of search. And RC is such a niche thing that it really need all the help you can get, because you don't get, you know, we're not kitty cats playing piano. No. So we need all the help we can get. Yo, Brian's blowing you up. Mikey, he said you're pretty. You guys, that's weird. Hey, guys, glad to see you on.
My skirt.
There is nowhere else in the RC universe where
you're gonna find a guy.
Stand up.
Yes.
This is nuts.
I don't know if we can get that in. Wearing a kilt. Isn't that great?
Can you believe this?
Check that out.
You got to give a thumbs up for that. 11 dudes watching, 5 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hey, I see Joshua McLean says hello, and that reminds me. Let's play RC. My boy and I are big into the ground RC. Oh yeah, I remember talking to you. Just starting to try out some air Got our first drone a few months back. That's right. I saw like your video on the Mavic. It was really good. And going to get our first plane in the near future. That's Let's Play RC. Any of you guys who want to know how to like get along on surface RC to keep your, that RC game on in between flights, him and his boy at Let's Play RC are having a lot of fun over there.
Hey, since you're doing the ground RC, let us know how that translates to aircraft when it's coming at you. Like if that actually helped, with the
orientation deal,
especially when it's opposite.
Nice kilt, he says.
All right.
Mike should know. Mike, it says also Mike should have no problems with the ladies. Yeah, because they can talk about skirts together.
I got purses to match.
My word.
I was beating them all with a stick today. I was.
That's what she said. Okay. David May says, hopefully undergarments beneath that kilt, Mike. Yeah, yes, hope so. That's why both my hands are up here.
We do wear underwear. We have shoes and socks on.
You're funny.
That's under the kilt.
So, Mephiles, gonna maiden my A6 tomorrow. Any advice? You know what? I think on our A6, we had that. And now they changed the inside a little bit since the first incarnation of that. But we had the battery back. I mean, actually, I would watch our video on it.
There's no place for the battery to go forward or back. You were locked because it was just big enough. That was it.
Well, no, I had that chunk of foam in there that didn't allow it to go forward at all. I had that battery back as much as it would go, but it looked super official. It looked like it was, I had that big chunk of foam in there, dude.
Is that still in there? Because I got that now and I fly it.
Regularly. No, that I put that in there. It was just a chunk of foam that I put in there as a spacer. Move the battery back. And reports were early on. I think Alpha was putting a 1/4 ounce of lead in the tail, that cover, at the back end. But I never did that.
I fly that like once a week. I never even paid attention.
Yeah, you just have the battery all the way back and it's working for you. And that's a good place to start. That's a great little plane, the A6. Where we at? Less kilt, more RC. Thanks, Fred. Let's Play RC says most certainly helps flying a drone towards you when you have some experience with trucks and such. You know what? I did a question call out on Instagram the other day, and I screenshotted these questions. So that's a good thing to do right now, I think. And actually, Photon, little smart aleck, asked me something on there. Probably about shaving. I'm for real. Yeah, let's just go to him first right now. So actually, Brian Hippie64 asked me the same thing too. Are you going to shave today? And then I did like a boomerang, like, no, I'm not. Oh, and then Photon Torpedo, do you shave daily? No, I don't. I should have said yes. And every time I grunt or flex my muscles, just beard grows like Paul Bunyan or something. So all you guys in the comments are rocking it. Are you guys seeing each other's comments as well? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be good? Does YouTube have anything where people can like chime in and talk and all that kind of thing?
No.
Like playing a video game or something?
The comments is where it's at. And then there's when you have so many comments, then the super chat happens.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have
What's that?
We're going to have to get on the simulator.
Try
Phoenix.
super chat, hippie. I'll pay you back.
We're going to have to get on Phoenix. So that way we can all talk to each other while we fly RC on the Phoenix simulator.
Oh, yeah.
That's not bad.
I remember getting kicked out of rooms though because we didn't have the bandwidth. Okay. Here's these questions are great. Let's see. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but man, we're rocking at 25 minutes, having a good time with 5 thumbs ups and 14 listeners in the room. First question, on Instagram the other day, my Instagram story, those of you who just chimed in, follow me on Instagram. It's blowing up. I put stuff out every day at @the_Pilot Ryan. J Baines 05 says, when does the Avanti S come in and why are you so awesome? First answer, don't know. Second answer,
don't know.
Thanks for asking. I still don't know. The next question, I'm just going in chronological. The demonizing gamer. How do I get into aviation RC? I have ground RCs and a couple of toy grade. It cuts off. I sent him a link to motionrc.com. Answered. Sam H. Hyatt says, would you give me a plane? I said no. I won't. I work hard for these things. I'll sell you one. Adrian Laviga said, follow me, please. I said, okay. How many planes do you own? I didn't answer that one because I don't know. Number one pilot, he's actually all over. Also, I see him. You know what? I really get to where I recognize avatars and names. We've been at it a long time. Number one pilot says, will China tariffs affect Motion RC? Don't know. Hope not. When will Rob Smoyer? This may be my buddy from, we used to talk about how to land the A-10. Brian says he has 20 airplanes. Mephilis is charging batteries for tomorrow. I got all night. He ain't worried about how long we take. Good. 6 thumbs up. Cool, guys. You could try Google Hangouts to set up a conference bridge for the Volt interaction. Ooh. Cool, man. Right. I'll look into it.
We're going to get that set up.
The technological end of these things, I can't stand it. But the people part, I'm in. When will we see a foam PT-19, says Rob Smoyer. I think as soon as you make one out of foam. I really wish I wish there was one too. Favorite scratch build. I don't have an answer for that because I'm a foamy dude. I'm a foamy dude. Here's a good one for us both, Mike. Voice over IP voice chat. I don't know what that means.
Don't even write that down. I mean,
it'll be on the comments. I can go back. What? This is a good one, and actually, all you guys can chime in on this one as well. This is from probably a drone guy, Dr. Ron. I thought it was Drone DC, but it may be Dr. Ron DC. What is a good beginner EDF that you can land on grass? I answered him nothing yet, actually. It depends. I think the Avanti's fantastic.
F-86, you can still do it.
F-86 is good, but the Avanti's landing gear are better. Bigger wheels, more suited for the grass situation. At Garza 89, when we getting a new free-wing jet? Sure, no one has asked you this. Laugh out loud. As soon as we get them, you all are next. You know. Hey, okay. Here we got guys answering the beginner question. Victor Shamulus concurs with Mikey, Captain Mike from RC Air Training Command, and he also says F-86. It depends on grass. Before there were so many choices, I would say that and the Stinger.
Yeah, but as long as you got an aircraft that, now we're talking first EDF, right?
Yeah.
So you want something that, I mean, if you've got grass, but something you can really control and really precisely land. So F-86 is on the thing. I'd say Avanti is one of them too.
Because they fly like warbirds. Yeah. The reason why we like those are flight character and then also utility. Like before the Avanti was around, the F-86 and like sport jets like the Stinger 90, if you were going to go big, were if you were ready for the retract situation. You know, we're really kind of the things we would answer to. That's assuming you've already done maybe some hand launch jets. And on the hand launch jets, we like the F9F Panther and even the F86 then too.
Man, that thing's
oh, Lippish. Yeah, but I mean back in the kind of before Avanti and some of these newer 64s. I think if you're going with the newer 64s now, Toss and Boss it, I think you have to go with the Lippish in a way. Just because it's got so much wing. Version 3 of a Stinger 90, probably not, Ricky. Dude, the Avanti just takes the cake. It ticks every box. If you've ever flown both, you would know. And what's great about the Avanti is it's 80 millimeter, but it's a big plane, feature rich with lots of lights. And it moves, but it flies like very predictable. It's got great lights. The landing gear and the wheels are just suited for grass in a great way. And again, before the Avanti was around, the F86 and I think the Stinger 90 were our best answers for EDFs once somebody was ready to go into landing gear. Okay, Fred, for first EDF, is a sport jet really a good idea? Except if you were previously flying pylon racers. Well, if you're going to fly jets, I mean, you better be ready a little bit for the speed game. I think we say sport jets because of their character. They're made to be models, not scaled after something else that maybe the character doesn't scale down. Right.
And you got to remember, too, because we were talking about this at the field the other day with some other pilots, because they were they're getting into jets, too, that you only got a 3.5 minute flight, unfortunately, just where it's at this moment. You got to allow yourself enough expertise that you don't get go around sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the first few flights are kind of critical. And so you don't want a high performance. You have to think a minute ahead, that sort of thing, you know.
Wing loading. I mean, that's the thing, too. When you get the sport jets, there's not as much feature on there to weigh it down. And I'm seeing a lot of comments for the Free Wing Rebel and the Dyna Meteor. Those are absolutely really great choices, too. Not so much I forgot.
Grass,
but beginner EDF. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're getting along on 4-cell. Now, when you put them in, they're square. When you take them out, they might be round. Yeah. We always were tough on our batteries.
I've been flying the Rebel a lot over at Marion now.
Nice.
And it's not hard.
See you later. Let's play. Thanks for coming by, guy. Let us know how those lessons go for you, man.
Yeah.
For real. And hit us up on social. Any questions? We've been answering questions for more than 5 years. Hit us up.
But the new admirals in the Rebel
holding up,
man, they're still.
That's good. Well, I think part of my problem too was I was still flying in rich power.
Yeah, that was way back in the day, man.
on the Rebel. Yeah. Saturday Night Live with the RC Pilots Lounge. This was unsuspected. We've got it said for a minute 19 guys in the chat. We lost one just now. 7 thumbs up. Thanks for that. Let's go back to the questions. I think we might have answered it. Hey, Andrew Williams. What's up, man? Hey, Andy Williams, Gibby. He's the guy who did the fan flight with the F-14 when we were at Jet Jam. Wow. Hit him up. If you see him ever on social, give him a follow because he puts up a lot of stuff too. And he just made in the Free Wing BAE Hawk. I call it the Bay Hawk. And so do a lot of other people. Our brothers in Russia got called out for calling it the Bay Hawk, and I felt partly responsible for that because I call it that all the time. Just like I called the Spitfire MK once instead of Mark 9. But semantics, folks. Anyway, Andrew, I saw your post on Insta with your onboard camera, and you stuck it monkey pants on the landing. It was really good, actually. It was really good. You like that? I'm gonna call it Bayhawk. I don't care, and it's a wheelie as much as it is an aero brake as well. So Andrew Williams, there he is. The Hawk is flying great. Thanks for the shout out. Yes, man. I am watching your Gavin tutorial on YouTube, Ryan. You really are a great orator. Thanks, man. Should be good at it by now. We've done hundreds of videos where we got to talk. Yeah, bro, you totally stuck it, Williams, Andrew, on the on the Hawk. That looked fantastic. It's a great plane. We have a good story. Some of you guys might have seen it already. And again, I'm going to drive you to our socials because we did a NTSB post-crash debriefing after Mike and I had a midair incursion with our Red Arrows Hawks. So go watch it. I put it up on YouTube. I put it up everywhere. I did the 1 minute smash up mini movie that I love on Instagram. It knocked his flap completely off of his plane and part of the wing, and we both still greased him in. Yeah. So that's funny. So the funniest part is, so we survived a midair and both landed, and then the next flight, Mike went up again anyway. Yeah. I
got pieces missing.
Without a flap.
Yeah.
Like I was like, really? And he's like, yeah.
Using the flaps to land.
You're out of your mind.
Just start to do one of these. I was completely, shoved over to the left. I was like, no big deal.
Well, I flew mine too, and there was nothing wrong with mine until I did a knife edge one way, and I don't know if I was pushing and came around. And usually I like the top of the plane at me when I'm doing a knife edge, but I'll practice the other way too, where the bottom's at me. That didn't work out. You guys know what's up. So I completely screwed up and went into the corn full speed and destroyed my Bayhawk. And I told Mike, I'm going to turn the volume down because Brian's blown me up on comments and on the phone. I totally put it in super fast, and the corn just shredded it. So I just gave Mike the wreck. I was like, dude, here, you can get a flap out of this, can't you?
I cut out that flat part, and then I cut out where the chunk of the wing was at, and it's all nice and good now.
Where's the Miller? Can you guys do something on the IX-12, maybe about setting up mixing on it? Absolutely, sure, after you give us one. I would love to, but I don't have one to do it. The Bayhawk from FMS looks awesome. It does. We saw one at Jet Jam. It does look good. Ours looks good as well. It's just a little bit smaller. They fly better after a few patch jobs. Yes, they do. The pucker factor decreases a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. You start babying them a bit.
Instagram a Photoshop Beyonce holding the Hawk. That will make it the new default pronunciation. That's kind of... Yes, Fred. That's where the Bay thing comes from. Andrew Williams is chiming in on the FMS gear. Andrew did his research, and he went with the free wing one. You can borrow mine if you're in Florida sometime. Let's wait till winter, and I'll get there to Florida. That sounds like a great time. Where's the Miller? Dude, you guys are really doing it for us, man. This is awesome. Impromptu for real Pilots Lounge. We didn't expect it. I really only have Mike over here to sign one of the Tired Iron shirts so we can send it back to George so he can send it to France, because the love of the hobbies worldwide, y'all. Let's see. You're all right, Ricky, man. I ain't mad at you. Don't worry. Love my T45. You're going to love it. T45 is awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's still on the top of my list for one of the favorite planes.
I want to get another one. Yeah.
So has he flown?
I never have time for him.
Has he flown the T45? Or is it going to fly?
Well, who's getting one? It sounds like Miller's getting one or getting ready to maiden one. Mephiles says he loves his T45. I think anybody who's got one probably loves it, except the dude at Jet Jam who completely piled it in on the maiden flight. A6 maiden tomorrow, smashed the battery all the way back. Absolutely 100%. Yeah. And man,
And we always ran 4,000s in that. It seemed to be.
Oh yeah.
Seemed to be the spot.
Well, especially back then, because back then the Admirals were different shapes. So the 5,000 and the 4,500 were very brickish and were tougher to fit. So the 4,000 was the only choice. Nowadays, the 4,000 is essentially the same size as it always was, and the 4,500 and 5,000 are more of that same square profile, but they're just longer. So I still wouldn't go more than a 4,500. I think 4,000 is the sweet spot on that one. Has anybody tried the new super duper 5,100 6S packet motion yet? I think it's the carbon technology. I'll be running a 4,000, perfect choice. Got my T45 just waiting to fly it this weekend.
Yeah, what I did with the T45 on mine, which it really made the difference, was when I put the flaps down, I put just a little bit of whatever it needed for the up trim, just to keep the plane kind of on its straight and level, just so I can get it in a little bit of slow flight. And then I did the same thing with the air brakes. I added a little bit more in the mixing for what it needed, and I also did that on the leading slats. So I actually have 3 different trims. You'll find that when you get to the leading slat, that will have the most trim for a little bit of up elevator, so you can keep that slow flight going. And it will override the rest of them if you have all 3 slowdowns. So once you get familiar with the T45, where you're feeling really good, try that little bit of mixing to where it's nice and straight and level again once you start your slowdown features. And I think you're going to have hoot with it. And you see my landings now, man. I'm saving that landing gear now.
Andrew Williams chimes in, flight modes, different trims for the win. I assume he's talking about the T45, maybe also the F-14, which he's got loads of experience on. Ding, right? Ricky the Photon, Dexter, why didn't the 5S battery get interest from plane companies, do you think? I have no idea. I would just be BSing if I had came up with a reason. I mean, my first answer is they didn't design any planes around it. It's like I think if you're designing planes, you have to think about what people have already too. A lot of times I'll ask people what they're already flying when they're asking about a next plane, mostly to gauge skill level, but also to assess their battery situation, because I know what they can get the most use out of what they have already without like buying more. So I think really, 3S was the mainstay forever. 4S took a little bit of arm twisting to get guys into. And it's like, if you're going to make them jump again to enjoy the performance of these jets, which was the golden age for, 6 makes sense. And then, I mean, so many guys are 8 and 12 now if they're into bigger electrics anyway. So for jet guys, the 6S is it's actually a real good marriage probably. It's enough up from a 4 to have some power. And then it allows you to also fly them in big warbirds as well. I've never in all my time had a need for a 5S pack.
Not yet, no.
Now we've landed after a 6 became a 5-cell pack a couple times, I think. Yeah. Lose one.
I've done that several times.
Nailed it, Andrew says. Hashtag nailed it. You nail it when you get a hashtag first. I don't know how long they let you do these lives. It may cut you off at an hour. We're getting there. Terrible reception, Adam Hampton says. He had to, well, not on his end. I think he was like mobile.
Oh.
This just in. Be here till you're done. Cool, man. Thanks, Brian. Hippie64. I'm telling you what, I talking to my friends about this stuff. Social media. It's a two-way street. I think a lot of people, I think you guys get it, and I think we get it. But I think some companies don't. Where on the end of every like, every comment, every question is a real person. We love that about this.
This is a real treat because I don't get to interact.
Man, dude,
this is
you guys, you don't see Mike unless I pop up at the field and I'm filming him. We're really cranking on our own end, but it's really mostly behind the scenes. You know, the work's official and we ship it off to them. But the behind the scenes are making it is what I can show you here for now. We're going to be doing some other stuff too. You know, they always tell you when you're a young man, there's more fish in the sea kind of thing. You know, when you get all heartbroken over a girl. Yeah.
That's never happened.
There's more. Is there a 6S jet that can be converted to a belly lander? Yeah, as soon as we get a hold of it, we'll rip the gear right out of it.
You got to land on something. You know, especially the, what do you call it?
There you go, Andrew. I see you. Perfect
Su-35,
answer.
Because of the foam.
The which one?
The Su-35.
Oh, that one and the F-35 too.
Yeah. Once your landing gear gets ripped out of there, there's
your belly lander.
You can throw that thing to your heart's content.
There's your belly lander.
I love that Japanese fellow. That's hovering that Su-35 with a 4S. And he's got no landing gear in it. And he's just right there, just a few feet.
You're right, David. You know. I see you, David. You're right. The seat was warm when you got there. 6S is perfect. I have no problem with the stock power systems. They fly nice and scale, in my opinion. I'm completely tickled with that as well. I did have a complete ball flying the F4 on 8S though. If you've seen the videos, I mean, you know it. Hooting and hollering. It was awesome. But it's no slouch on 6. I pulled a radar rip at Jet Jam. It was hot too. And we radar ripped the stock 6S F4 at 114. 6S stock. And then I did another one on a fresh battery here in South Bend. It was not as hot. And I got 122 out of it. So stock 6S is no slouch. The 6S 12 blades do sound amazing, but the 9 blades, folks are loving the punch. Tired Iron George Baker has been flying the new Mirage, which has the 15 blade. I was looking at how many people were in the room. Has the 9 blade power system. And I mean, he's wanting it for everything he's got. That's 80. Victor's got the F4 on an 8S jet fan. I'm sure it sounds like butter. Put the 9 blade on my MiG. Is that killer, Victor? I've been ready to put my MiG up again. You guys have really never seen any video on the custom bunny fighter I did.
Awesome, yeah.
Oh, yes. He's loving it, he says, Victor. Put the 9 blade on my MiG. You can't beat the 12 blade whoosh. That's true. I think the 9 blade is right there. It's not exactly the same, but you benefit in other ways. I mean, let's not forget the A10 was the first thing that came out with the 9 blades. And
that sounds good. That sounds amazing.
Andrew's getting curious what the power system ×2 from the new Mirage Tiger Meat would do in the Tomcat. Well, once you scratch that itch, let us know. Man, shoot a video. We'll all get to see it. Submit it in the customer for the customer playlist. Exactly, Fred. Fewer blades equals more efficient at speed. More blades, black hole milliamp style.
Well, not really, because I do got a couple of fans that got converted from 12S to 1 blade.
1 blade.
It's not doing much.
It's not doing much.
Yeah. So keep it higher than 3 blades, I would say.
How about the in-runner upgrade on the T45? Is there a boost to the flight time? I can't answer. I don't know.
That would be
I don't know. There very easily could be. I mean, you know what they go through. they keep experimenting, and I'm glad they do, because I mean, you do get your ideas about how one power system is going to perform, even in different airframes. But they switch them, and they'll usually always go for like more efficient and less abusive to the batteries. I remember the Stinger 90 sometimes and the T45 being kind of hard on some of my packs, and that was probably me too. But some of the newer, just a little small adjustment on I see Andrew, a little small adjustment on KV will kind of get you a little bit more I forget what I was saying. I was trying to read comments at the same time. Where was I? Get you a little more ease on the batteries and a little more flight time. So you never know. The T45, if it's still got the original power system in it, probably, I think we were going 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting 3.
Are you? If you stay in the landing pattern?
Yeah. I love that jet.
The FMS Typhoon. You talking about the prop job, Joshua McLean? If you're in it, you know what? It's about what makes you happy. I think you've asked this somewhere else. And if you're into Typhoons, get one. Yep. Outrunners are getting better. I do love the in-runner sound on the Yak 130, man. It sounds good. I used to think the sound of that Yak, he says Yak 130 was just the airframe made it sound like that, but it's that in-runner in there. Actually, you had to fix the plane one time, and so we figured out it had an in-runner in it. I don't think we knew. Right. So we've been on almost an hour, and really Mike just came over to sign a T-shirt. David May, heading off. See you later, my man. Heading off to
thanks for hanging out with us,
somewhere in Australia early in the morning. Annual leave from work for 2 weeks, man. Enjoy your time. Hopefully chat to you guys with some ideas during this time. Cool, man.
Don't hug koalas.
Yeah, don't hug koalas. They get pissed when you take their eucalyptus.
Well, they got venereal diseases.
How do you know?
One of the Backstreet Boys, one of the Backstreet Boys, or one of those boy bands was holding one. He had to go get checked out.
Yeah, right. It's 12:30 where we are. Yeah. Sounds good. Joshua McLean says, "Where's the Miller? What happened to the Dyna P61 Black Widow? Is it coming to motion?" No, it's not. It didn't meet criteria guidelines. Let's just say. There are crocodiles where I'm going. You know what? That reminds me of a funny story. One time, all the family was going to like Disneyland, grandpas, uncles, aunts, everybody. And everybody's got babies. And we're in Florida. Let's take a walk around the pond by the hotel. I'm just thinking, you're kidding me, right? There's like crocodiles going to eat my babies. I was so mad.
They got crocodiles or alligators?
I'm a total hover dad, man. Are you a U.S. citizen? We don't fly tornadoes here. He is now.
Yeah, I am now, right?
Andrew said he'd fly one. 6S 80mm sounds nice.
I've been talking to Alpha. Every time I see him, where's the tornado, Alpha?
I know.
The tornado. Panavia.
You know, with EU coming online, it seems like maybe an inevitability down the road. Who knows? So, guys, thanks for the action. This was a lot of fun. Let's see if there are anything ridiculous on the other socials that I can say. Stick it, monkey pants. Yeah, we're gonna make some merch for the Pilot Ryan, Captain Mike media networks.
We should, yes.
I don't even want to say it because I don't want someone to steal it. I'm not going to say it. You guys can see it in chat. Let's see. What am I looking for? Instagram comments, which is doing really well, by the way. And you know what, guys? I hate doing it, but you have to do it on social. You have to plug it all the time. I hate it, but I don't know what else to do. And I've been doing it forever. We need big boy sizes too. Tell me about it. I love you guys on Insta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of the same dudes, man. Thanks.
Mine going too.
Yeah, Mike, I would tag you in all the stuff that you're in.
Yeah.
The irony is that Mike is an absolute off the grid type of social media user. Like the dude's not there.
Yeah.
I love you too. Thanks, man. Crocodiles. I'd fly a tornado. Let's see. So who here in the comments right now, there's 9 of us left. We'll wrap it up in 5 minutes, man. This thing went an hour.
Yeah, this was always starting out as a test.
For real.
Hey, we'll hang out with you.
Well, but people popped on right away. Yeah. I was going to kill it. I really see the reason why we're doing these tests is because when I do the podcast, I'm doing it at George's on the Tired Iron Aviation Facebook group, which is great. I need his help right now. But again, back to engagement and vanity metrics of social media. If you want to benefit, you have to, it's got to be your own. So I eventually need to be figuring this out for us to be able to run it. I can't bother him every Thursday night for, I mean, I appreciate his help tremendously, but we need the off the grid and master of disguise. Look like Richard Petty at Jet Jam, looking like Clark Gable today.
Awesome.
I love it, man. Keep it going, guys. This is great. Love to see you guys do this more in the future. Right on, man. Perfect. I was thinking about doing this before the podcast on Wednesday nights, but I think, man, Saturday Night Live is a good idea. Kind of.
So, because I'm actually in town. So
yeah.
If I'm not playing out. So.
So people are saying weird stuff about how handsome you are, Mike. Let's see.
Well, thank you.
I want to date Mikey. Come on. I mean, it's 2018, but for real. So who here listened to any of the previous podcasts? We've done 3 of them. The last one we had Chloe and April from RC Safari on here. It was on the Tired Iron Aviation Facebook page. All 3, thank you, man. Victor listened to all. Thank you, Victor. Yeah. Out of you, all 3, thank you, man. Out of all 2 of 3, thank you, Mike Kennedy. Man, you guys are great. Appreciate that super much. All of the first 2.5 of the third so far listen on. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. That reminds me.
Is there anything you guys want to see or have us talk about? That's
yes. Ideas for guests, which we already got one.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ian. 1 of 3 Code Pox. Yeah, check them out. So the best way, I'm still waiting on actually the video to come in from George on man, it's still not up on my phone, so I can upload it to our YouTube channel. But if you want to watch all 3, they are at Tired Iron Aviation Facebook group. The first 2 are on this YouTube channel right here, podcast number 1 and 2. All 3 of the podcasts are also available on the Anchor app or anywhere you listen to podcasts. So I think it's everywhere but iTunes. So actually, let me see if I can look it up. The Anchor app, it's RC Pilots Lounge. It's available everywhere being, there's a list when you're on desktop. I don't think it's on the iTunes one, like the one that comes on your iPhone, but it's everywhere else. Google Podcasts, things like that. So Andrew, I know he says he listens on the commute. So that's awesome. We get more traffic on the YouTube channel and, of course, the Facebook page, like in the way of views and engagement with you guys. But I think it's important that if you have an hour-long show to realize that the viewer, the listener, may not have an hour to dedicate to consuming that content. Honestly, I'm super busy. And as far as like vanity metrics, when I'm engaging with the people I follow and stuff, half the time I'm just like, thanks for showing up, but I'm moving on. Like I may not have the time for it. And like an hour show, like the only way I was listening to the podcast today was I was listening to him. I had earbuds on. I was doing some work around the house, listening to some Gary Vaynerchuk, getting completely pumped. So you guys have got me and my dad in way too much trouble with all your videos making us buy all these planes. That's cool, man. That's what we do. Appreciate
you know
that.
After you get past your 100th, all the women in the house would just go, whatever. It will wear them down.
So, Andrew, I didn't hear your question. What'd you say, Mikey?
Oh, I just said once you get to your 100th airplane, it wears all the women down in the household. So
I know. You really do train them secretly. Yeah. Like I remember, this is funny. So, and then Andrew will try to get to you in a minute because I don't know how to answer that question about the Anchor app, but I love the Anchor app, and I mean, it's free. And I get to see the numbers actually there a lot easier. So breaking down the significant other. So when I first started, like I was carrying mail, I was making okay, and we didn't have any kids yet. So I was buying planes, but I had to kind of slow into it. So I was buying these GWS kits that were just empty. They would call them like no power system or like slope glider kits. They were like $60, $70. It was the airplane, but none of the electronics.
Middle hydraulic.
To all that kind of stuff. But they were just now going brushless. So these GWS, the EPO planes were dope, you know, because they were coming with like brushless, you know, motors. But the earlier, smaller size EPS GWS planes were not. Anyway, you would trick. Callie would be an interesting guest.
Oh, that would.
Absolutely.
Write that down, Mr.
Yeah. So buy the plane for $60, you know, and then take a little bit more money and buy the electronics and then buy the receiver. By the time you were done, you could have just bought a Horizon thing all at once, but you had to kind of ease her into it at first. That's what I had to do. Sad I didn't get to meet you guys at Joe Nall. We are too. That was a total bummer.
We were all ready to go. And
Chris Wolf, absolutely, Andrew. I thought about that too. I'm not going to have him on until he sends me one of those afterburner kits, though. I'm just kidding. Two. Come on. Let's see. So, Andrew, love all the backstory on the podcast, hear how you two met, hearing how RC Safari started, etc. Anybody know how to scrub, fast forward, or rewind on Anchor? 15 seconds at a time gets rough. I don't know, man. Maybe depending on which browser you use to get there might change that. Also, if there's a download the thing option, you might be able to just download it and then like not listen off the app. Of course, you can dial us up on YouTube and Facebook and do it. The podcast app though is pretty sweet when it's working. Facebook mostly for Ricky. You guys have got me. Instagram is more Instagram is huge. And if anybody works in social media or online commerce, you'll know that it's all about attention and you go where the people are. Instagram just got bought by Zucks not that long ago. Well, so
that Zucks, doesn't it?
That you're good. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, Facebook and Instagram, you know, together, not the worst thing. And if you're on the internet and you're worried about privacy, that's cool. But the internet's not the place to be if you are worried about privacy because they got your number, dude. They got all of our numbers.
You know, all your equipment's already bugged anyway. So.
I mean, come on. What do you got to hide?
Yeah.
I mean, the brown box from your wife, that's all you should be worrying about. So Ryan wants free stuff. How dare you? You're funny. It ain't free, but kinda. We give it back.
Yeah.
That's what promotion is. Speaking of Cali, what's the website for Cali Graphics? I still can't find it. Google search caligraphics.com or type in caligraphics.com or www.caligraphics.com and see what you get. There's surely a link to Cali somewhere on the forums.
Too, right?
Yeah, I would say Hobby Squawker RC groups. There is already a Cinderburner like alternative design as seen on RC groups. You're talking about RC Geek, right, Fred? Just using the iOS app, it's up to date, but maybe I haven't poked around enough. Any chances it'll make it to iTunes at some point? I'm not sure. I think that may be one that they're getting towards, but I mean, when I put this thing up, it goes to 7 different podcast apps, which is great. Let me Google right now real quick. How old are you guys?
We're old.
Not gonna say.
We're old.
I got an answer for you. Go ahead, Mike.
We're from the McLeod clan. Yeah, that's how old.
That's old, eh?
You're 57 now?
I don't look a day past 44.
I'm still in my 40s, so I'm happy.
I'm trying to find out where all the Anchor app goes to. If you go on desktop, it'll show you. I mean, like everywhere podcasts are going, except I think iTunes right now. So back to the this is funny. Joshua McLean, good one, man. Don't you know it's rude to ask a guy who is wearing a kilt his age?
Oh, yes.
Old enough to party. I told Mike he should have brought beers on the way here, but
he did. He said I was going to call you and bring beers. I've been on the vodka all day.
So I quit drinking. I freeze it now. Eat it like a popsicle. So thank you, Dean Martin, for that one. So when people ask about age, I pull 2018 PC economics. I like to say the word economics, even though it has nothing to do with it. So politically correctness, I throw out back at the people who ask me my age. Just like some folks don't know which bathroom to use, I also refuse to answer the question. I say I don't identify with an age.
Today I had a difficult time.
Did you?
Yes, because when we were at the venue playing, I ran into the woods, right? And you get a symbol with a triangle, which looks very much like what I was wearing. Versus the.
So you went in there?
I guess I can go either one, I guess. So,
you know who's going to play? You know, I don't know if I should do this or not.
I got to do it.
I saw it online. Exactly. I can live forever as well. You know,
I'm still doing the math on my age, actually.
Caitlyn Jenner's about to enter the Marvel universe now.
Really?
Yeah. Tranos.
Ah.
Anyway.
I had to update that 80s box twice.
Oh,
yes. I updated the box, and I had that original Olympic box.
Right. Mm-hmm. I had the shoes, man. I had the Bruce Jenner shoes back when I was a kid. They were blue. They were junk. They were like kind of like Chuck Taylor's. But, I mean, man, he was winning. Yeah. And so I thought I'd go real fast.
Faster. Yeah.
I thought I would go really fast with those. Man, I keep seeing your name, Joshua McLean, and it reminds me a little bit of a bitter. I don't know if it's sweet. If he was battling, then it's bittersweet. But John McCain passed today, and salute to him and his family. He was a badass. John McCain, man, the senator, dude, POW. Yeah, he passed. Oh. He had been ill. So laugh out loud. Yeah, I saw it on. I got to give the internet credit on that one. All the Californians are mad now. Sorry. Sorry. The interwebs made me do it.
49. I just did the math.
The math?
Yes.
What, on your age?
That's my age, yes.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, because we don't keep
Yeah,
track.
man.
Never kept track.
Great American for sure. Our condolences. For real. Yep. You know, if there's a group of guys who would get it and appreciate, that's what's awesome about this hobby. Because of what it is, you know, when you talk to, it's funny when you talk to people who outside of the hobby, everybody, you guys all can attest to this fact. The minute you talk to anybody about what you do, everyone asks about drones to you.
First thing. Oh, you fly drones.
Whether it's good or bad, they ask it. And my answer to them is always this: drones are great when you want a tool that flies with a camera on it. And I'm sure they're fun to race. Absolutely. And FPV and all that stuff. But there's nobody's uncle, grandpa, nephew, daughter, cousin that worked on one, went down in one, served in one. So these planes that we love,
keeping that memory alive.
yeah, they're an homage. There's a different kind of romance and nostalgia to the things we do, which is different. Drones are great. They're fun. They're awesome. They're useful. I want the Mavics, the new ones. There's like two. One's got a zoom on it, and one,
the new one now.
Yeah, one's got a zoom, and one's got a super dope camera. Ricky flies drones. It's not your fault, man. I'm just kidding.
See, I can't get one yet. I can't get one yet.
Why? Because you're Canadian?
No, I don't have a skateboard.
You got to have a skateboard, have a drone?
Man, it's on YouTube. All those camera guys, and they got cameras and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Skateboards.
The vloggers.
Yeah.
Kenny Vloggins. Any of you guys see some of my stuff? I tried, you know, it's almost like Google Plus, Instagram TV. It's like you guys are saying what? Yeah, that's how it is. But it's a platform through Instagram where you can post videos that aren't limited to a minute, and they're in the vertical format, which nobody wants. I did some of that Instagram TV stuff as Kenny Vloggins, because that's kind of what it was. Like, turn the car on in the phone, turn the phone on in the car, and you know, just let it rip while I run errands, basically, or on my way to the field. And I got to thank Andrew for the cradle for my phone, which has saved my life probably numerous times already. Hippie says, come mow my yard. You mow your own damn yard, honky. Drones. You know what? I don't even want to get started on this. Like drones, right? Being a bad thing. They because the argument would apply to guns, and I am not going there. Pack them, boys, but I don't want to talk about it. Pack all you want, but I don't want to talk about it. But it's the fools who use drones without any knowledge of protocol flying things. That's the other good thing about the hobby, is everyone does have a respect for aviation above and beyond the model on your bench. So it's easy for us to respect the rules established with the AMA and the FAA. Common sense. I mean, man, it's just too dangerous, and all of us know that. So it does just take one idiot to screw it up for the rest of us, and that applies to everything. I mean, it's the same thing with the, you know, the bang bang. Come on my yard. Glad it's doing its job. I'm coming in at the tail end of that. Yeah, so it's funny. You know, I can tell I've answered that question about the drones so many times that I'm very careful to give it credit also and not appear like some kind of snob. I mean, you know, we all like what we like, but there are actually so many facets of the hobby. Um, it stresses me out too, Joshua. A drone flipping over an airliner. I don't even want to go. It's like cringe worthy. I can't even stand to see that stuff because I just it does screw it up for everybody else. But it's the operator. I mean, you have to apply this to the gun debate. Like if it's all drones, then it's all guns.
Well, didn't Martin Luther King say something about that?
I don't know, but you better be careful.
Well, no, he said judge person not by their aircraft they fly, but the merit of their character. I'm pretty sure.
The milliamps of their batteries.
Yes. I might have some quotes mixed up there, but it's
bingo. Bingo. So guys, we've rolled an hour and 15 minutes. We're gonna, I hate to go, but cool on the thumbs up and hanging out, dudes. Hippies packing. I knew you were. Cool. You should be able to. We're not going to touch any of that stuff, though.
Well, it helps out the folks that don't carry. So that's why
it's a round and round. It's let everybody else go round and round about it. Bourbon time. No kidding, man. Well, this was an impromptu RC Pilots Lounge Saturday night live edition with Captain Mike in a dress, in a kilt. Yeah. Almost 1 a.m. Go to bed. Yeah, man, I know. Actually, I'm not going to go to bed. I'm going to film this shirt deal. So, man, guys, I'm sure that there's loads of comments on here when we check the replay. Any of your buddies who might have liked jumping in on this, you know, share this with them. If you're here, chances are you've subscribed already. If you haven't, do it. And also smash that bell so you get notified when we do post to the channel videos. And we've been doing that a lot lately. If you go back and look over the last few months, it's like all of a sudden we're, you know, kind of active again, but it's not nearly as often as Instagram, which we were talking about earlier as being a great place with a lot of eyeballs on the attention. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I want to say that for so long, I spent a lot of my time in both forums, and they're great. However, I have had a great time this year on these other platforms. It seems like there's just a lot of people really doing stuff more than talking about it.
Well, we finally get to interact with people other than just answering questions on the YouTube channel. You know, that's what the fun part about this is.
Well, I love the engagement and the interaction on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all these socials, but the groups are great. The groups are great. Hobby Squawk is great. I love those places, but I spent so much time on them. This is kind of, the Instagram thing is new in a way. Like I started an Instagram back when we went to Wisconsin, right at the same time Motion started an Instagram, and I posted a few pics. I didn't know anything about it at all. And I just let it sit because whenever I had time to do something, Motion got all my efforts. And lately we both got some free time and going back to kind of our stuff. So really, I didn't start really doing Instagram until April. And then that was a learning process, and I'm still learning, but I feel like I kind of got it figured out where it's growing rapidly, having a lot of fun, and it really it seems like consistency is the way to go, and that's what we're trying to provide. So come over there and consume it, guys, because we're working hard to give you something to chew on until you can get yourself back out and fly your own stuff. Andrew, I see what you're saying. Just smash that bell. Yeah, thanks guys for the subscriptions. You guys are probably all following some of our favorites already, like our brothers from another mother in Slovenia. I want to call out his channel, but I can't even begin to say his last name. Pilot Robert and Captain Blosh. The channel is Robert Petrincic, something like, I can't say it. You guys who Mephiles was talking about changing his channel name. We need to talk the Slovenian brothers into doing it too, so we can all say it. Right? Hour 20 Saturday Night Live with RC Pilots Lounge. We're going to cut it. Thanks for your comments. Any ideas you have for like maybe a next time? Yeah, I know how to spell it, Victor, but I can't say it. Any ideas for next time or whatever? You know, hit me in the DMs, hit me in the comments to this video. You know where to find us, man. I'm on it every day. And I always tell Mike what's going on. So have a good night. Thanks for coming by. This was a heck of a chat, y'all. This was fun. Yes. And what a surprise. We really didn't plan on it. Film me, not the tractor, Captain Vlosh. So we're having a good time, guys. So it's a lot less official, more behind the scenes, and we're going to be doing some other stuff as well on this channel. So stay tuned. I will always be promoting. I feel like YouTube's pretty official, so chances are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I'm gonna be pumping it up and directing you to YouTube. Keep listening to that podcast. If you like to listen more than watch, go to the Anchor app, RC Pilots Lounge. And consume it there. We really appreciate that. This is how you do it, guys, and we're doing it. Fist bump, bro. We're out of here. We're going to end this thing. Guys, thanks so much for coming by. Love you.
Awesome hanging out with you.
For real. We'll do it again. Let's plan on it. All right.
Let's do it next week.
All right. Later. Bye-bye.
See y'all.
Did it go? No, are they still watching?
End stream.
It's not gone yet. Did I miss the button?
I think you did. Hey, everybody.
Hey. All right, y'all. See ya. For real.
Yeah,
laugh out loud. Hey, wait. Petrincic. Yeah, see, I'm not even going to try to say that anyway, even though you gave it to me phonetically. OMG. He's dying over here. He's already into the bourbon. That's why.
Oh, nice.
Just say no to orange receivers. Where's the Miller said that? Probably not bad advice.
Okay, going on.
Bye.
Hour 3.
See, yeah. Here we are at hour 2.
This is like the girlfriend. You hang up first. No, you hang up first. No.
Jerry Lewis is going to be ready to come on the telethon here in a minute. We're raising money. Bye, Victor. See you later. All right, guys. Thanks so much, man. We'll do it again. I don't know if it's going to be every week, but we'll definitely podcast every Thursday. Every day. Podcast every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Be staying tuned in to find out where. It's going to still be at George's for a while, but I want to get it over here. It looks better. The video looks good. All right. Appreciate you. Bye.
See ya.
Boom. Yes. How many times are you going to ask me?